What if Naruto raised by Kushina? The night air smelled of smoke and death. Kushina Uzumaki lay pinned beneath the weight of her husband's body, her chakra almost completely drained, the last of her strength keeping the Nine-Tails seal from breaking entirely. Minato's blonde hair, usually so bright, so full of life, was matted with blood and dirt against her cheek. Minato! Minato, no! Her voice was barely a whisper. The great fox had been sealed. The village was burning. And the man she loved, the man who had always been faster than anyone, had been just a fraction of a second too slow. Or maybe he had been exactly on time. Maybe he had known what he was doing. Her hands trembled as she touched his face. Still warm. Still here. But his eyes were closed, and his chest, she pressed her palm against it, waiting, praying. Nothing. Minato. The word cracked. You promised. You promised you'd. A sound cut through her grief. Small. Weak. But alive. Her son. Kushina's head turned, the movement agony, and there, wrapped in a blanket stained with her own blood, placed carefully on the stone a few feet away, was Naruto. He was crying. Not the loud, furious wail of a healthy newborn. Something smaller. Quieter. As if he already understood that the world he'd entered was one of pain. Baby! Kushina dragged herself forward. 1 inch. Then another. Her legs wouldn't work. Her arms shook. But she moved. She had to move. Minato had given her this, had given them both this, and she would not let it be for nothing. Her fingers finally brushed the blanket. Mommy's here, she whispered. Mommy's here, baby. I've got you. She pulled him close, tucking him against her chest, and for a moment, just a moment, the burning village, the dead and dying, the monster sealed inside her newborn son, all of it faded. There was only this. Warmth. Breath. Life. The days that followed were a blur of pain and milk and tears. Kushina didn't remember being carried to the hospital. Didn't remember the medics working on her, the transfusion of chakra that kept her alive, the whispered conversations outside her room about whether she would make it. She woke to sunlight. Real sunlight, not the orange glow of flames. Morning light, soft and golden, streaming through a window she didn't recognize. And silence. Her eyes flew open. Her arms, empty. Her heart stopped. Easy, easy. A nurse rushed forward, pressing her back down. You're still healing. Your chakra coils are barely. Where is my son? The nurse hesitated. Just a fraction of a second. But Kushina saw it. Where is my son? I'll get the doctor. Where is my son? The door slid open before the nurse could reach it. An old man stood there, weathered face, white hair, eyes that had seen too many wars and too many funerals. The third Hokage. Kushina, he said gently. You're awake. Where is Naruto? Hiruzen Sarutobi crossed the room slowly, his cane tapping against the floor. He lowered himself into the chair beside her bed with the careful movements of someone whose body remembered every battle it had ever fought. He's safe. He's being cared for. By who? Nurses. Excellent nurses, I assure you. No. Kushina tried to sit up again. Failed. Her body screamed at her. She didn't care. He comes to me. Now. He needs to nurse, he needs. Kushina. The Hokage's voice was firm but kind. You nearly died. Your body needs time to heal. The baby is being fed, we have formulas, wet nurses. Formula. Kushina laughed. It wasn't a happy sound. You want to give my son formula when I have milk? You want to hand him to strangers when his father when he just. Her voice broke. Hiruzen was quiet for a long moment. The council has concerns, he said finally. Kushina went still. What concerns? You're the last Jinchuriki. The Nine-Tails. Is sealed in my son. Yes. Because my husband gave his life to save this village. To save me. To save Naruto. Her voice was ice. And the council is concerned. Hiruzen met her eyes. He didn't flinch. There are those who believe the boy would be better raised, elsewhere. Away from you. Away from the Uzumaki bloodline that attracted the fox in the first place. For a moment, Kushina couldn't breathe. Not from her injuries. From rage. I beg your pardon? I'm not saying I agree with them. Hiruzen held up a hand. I'm telling you what's being said. So you understand. So you can prepare. Prepare. Kushina's voice was flat. Prepare for what? To fight for my own child? Yes. The word hung in the air between them. Hiruzen leaned forward, his old eyes sharp and clear. I will do everything in my power to ensure you keep your son, Kushina. But you need to understand, the village is afraid. The Nine-Tails attack killed hundreds. Destroyed families. Tore apart everything people thought they knew about safety. They're looking for someone to blame. And a foreign woman with the same bloodline as the monster, a boy who carries that monster inside him. They'll hate him. Some will. Yes. And me? Hiruzen was quiet. I see, Kushina whispered. She looked down at her hands. They were shaking. But not from weakness. Bring me my son. Kushina. I heard you. I understand. The council wants to take my baby. The village will hate him because of what he carries. Fine. She looked up. Then I need to hold my son. I need to feed my son. I need to look at him and remember why I'm going to survive this. Hiruzen studied her for a long moment. Then he nodded. I'll have him brought to you. He stood, moving toward the door. Paused. Your husband was a good man, Kushina. The best I ever trained. He loved you more than anything in this world, more than his own life, clearly. And he trusted me to protect what he left behind. He looked back at her. I intend to honor that trust. However I can. The door closed behind him. Kushina stared at the ceiling. The tears came then. Silent. Hot. Endless. She cried for Minato. For the future they should have had. For the family that was supposed to be. And when the nurse finally came, carrying a small bundle wrapped in blue, Kushina held out her arms and took her son. He was so small. So light. His eyes, they would be blue, she knew. All Uzumaki babies had blue eyes at first, were closed, his tiny face scrunched in sleep. Hi, baby, she whispered. I'm your mommy. I know you don't know me yet. I know you don't understand. But I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to protect you. And I'm going to make sure you know, every single day, that you are loved. Naruto stirred. His mouth opened in a tiny yawn. Kushina laughed. Cried. Pressed her lips to his forehead. Your daddy was the bravest man I ever knew. He saved us. He saved the whole village. And someday, when you're older, I'll tell you all about him. She held her son close. But for now, it's just you and me, baby. Just you and me. The apartment was small. 2 rooms, a kitchen barely big enough to turn around in, a bathroom with a shower that dripped. But it had windows that faced east, catching the morning sun, and it was hers. Well, hers and Naruto's. The Hokage had arranged it. Had pulled strings, signed forms, fought battles Kushina would never know about. The council had wanted her in a secure facility. For her own protection. Hiruzen had countered that a Jinchuriki needed community, needed to feel connected to the village she was meant to protect. What he hadn't said, but what Kushina understood, was that he also wanted her away from prying eyes. Wanted her somewhere the ANBU could watch without being obvious. Wanted her to have a chance at something resembling normal life. Normal. Kushina stood at the window, Naruto in her arms, watching the village rebuild. Smoke still rose from some sections. Hammering echoed from every direction. People moved through the streets like ants, carrying supplies, clearing debris, starting over. So much destruction. So much loss. And yet. Naruto stirred against her chest, making a small sound, and Kushina looked down at him. He was awake. Blue eyes, Minato's blue, she realized with a jolt, stared up at her, unfocused but aware. His tiny hand had escaped the blanket, and waved vaguely in the air. Hey there, she murmured. Look at all those people. All those houses. This is your home, baby. Konoha. It's not very pretty right now, but it will be. And you're going to help make it that way. You and me. Naruto's hand found her finger. Grabbed on. Held tight. Kushina smiled. Yeah. That's right. We're going to be okay. 3 months later, Kushina stood in line at the village market, Naruto strapped to her chest in a sling she'd made herself, and heard exactly what people thought of her. Should have died instead of the yondaime. Don't say that. Why not? It's true. If she hadn't been there, if she hadn't attracted that beast. She's Uzumaki. They're all cursed. Everyone knows that. Quiet, she'll hear you. Let her hear. Maybe she'll leave. Kushina's hands tightened on her basket. Naruto, sensing her tension, made a small fussy sound. She looked down at him. At his bright eyes, his chubby cheeks, the tiny swirl of whisker marks on each cheek, marks she'd been told were from the Ninetales, marks that marked him as different, marked him as other. I'm not going anywhere, she whispered. And neither are you. She paid for her groceries without looking at anyone, walked home without meeting anyone's eyes, climbed the stairs to their tiny apartment, and locked the door behind her. Then she sat on the floor, took Naruto out of his sling, and held him close. People are going to say things, she told him. Mean things. Stupid things. They're going to look at you and see the fox. They're going to look at me and see a foreigner. They're going to blame us for things that weren't our fault. Naruto gurgled. Yeah. I know. It's not fair. Kushina smiled, though her eyes were wet. But here's the thing, baby. Fair doesn't matter. What matters is what we do. How we respond. Your daddy, he was always calm. Always steady. Nothing shook him. Me? I'm a little more explosive. She laughed softly. But we're going to get through this. You and me. Because we're Uzumaki. And Uzumaki don't break. She lifted him up, pressed her forehead to his. We endure. The first time Naruto spoke was in their apartment, on a rainy Tuesday, when he was 11 months old. Kushina was making dinner, ramen, because it was quick and cheap and reminded her of home, when she heard it. Ma. She dropped the spoon. Slowly, she turned around. Naruto was sitting in his high chair, banging a spoon against the tray, completely oblivious to the bombshell he just dropped. Did you just, Naruto? Baby? Say it again. Naruto looked up at her, grinned his toothless grin. Ma! Kushina was across the room in an instant, scooping him up, spinning him around, laughing and crying at the same time. That's right. That's me. I'm Mama. Oh, baby, you said it, you really said it. Naruto laughed, delighted by her reaction, and grabbed a fistful of her hair. Ma. Minato, did you hear that? Kushina whispered into her son's hair. He said Mama? Our boy said Mama? She stood there for a long time, holding him, listening to the rain against the window, feeling the small warm weight of him in her arms. And for the first time since that night, since the fire and the death and the crushing weight of grief, she felt something like hope. The apartment had one small altar. A picture of Minato, young and smiling in his Hokage robes. A candle. A single flower, changed weekly. Every night, Kushina brought Naruto to say goodnight to his father. Tell Daddy about your day, she would say. And Naruto, as he grew, would babble about whatever had caught his attention, a bird outside the window, a new food he'd tried, the way the light looked at sunset. Kushina would stand behind him, hands on his small shoulders, and watch the flame flicker. I'm doing my best, Minato, she would whisper, when Naruto couldn't hear. I hope it's enough. I hope I'm enough. The flame never answered. But sometimes, on the hardest nights, it seemed to burn a little brighter. Ka-san! Ka-san, look! Kushina looked up from the laundry she was folding to find her 3-year-old son standing in the doorway, covered head to toe in mud. Not just mud. Mud mixed with something green. And possibly something purple. It was hard to tell. Naruto Uzumaki. He beamed at her, apparently oblivious to his condition. I found a pond. With frogs. Big ones. I tried to catch one but it jumped and I fell and then. You fell into the pond. No, I fell after the pond. Into the wet part. The mud part. It's squishy. Kushina took a deep breath. It was the same breath her own mother had taken, countless times, watching Kushina return from adventures in various states of disaster. The breath that meant I love you, I'm glad you're having fun, and also you're cleaning this up yourself. Where are your shoes? Naruto's face fell slightly. Naruto. They're in the pond? Kushina closed her eyes. The shoes I bought you last week. They were really good shoes. They helped me run faster. But then the mud. Bathroom. Now. But Ka-san. Now. Naruto moved. He was fast, Kushina would give him that. A blur of mud and small limbs, disappearing down the hall toward the bathroom. She heard the door slam, then the sound of water running, far too much water, by the sound of it. He's your son, she told Minato's picture as she grabbed a mop. That's all. Completely yours. The picture smiled at her, unchanging. Kushina smiled back, despite herself. The bathroom was, predictably, a disaster. Naruto had managed to get mud on the walls, the mirror, and somehow, the ceiling. He was standing in the tub, fully clothed, trying to use the showerhead like a weapon against the dirt. I'm winning, Ka-san! You're making it worse! Kushina grabbed the showerhead from him, turned off the water, and surveyed the damage. Naruto, what did I tell you about playing near the pond? The rule. What's the rule? Don't play near the pond? That's right. And what did you do? Naruto looked down at his muddy feet. Played near the pond. That's right. Kushina knelt down so she was at his level. And now your shoes are gone, your clothes are ruined, and I have to clean the bathroom again. Do you know why I made that rule, baby? Because the pond is dangerous. Partly. But also because I worry about you. Every time you leave this apartment, I worry. Because you're the most important person in the world to me, and I can't stand the thought of anything happening to you. Naruto's lower lip trembled slightly. I'm sorry, Ka-san. I know you are. Kushina pulled him into a hug, mud and all. And I forgive you. But you still have to help clean up. Okay. And we're going to have to find your shoes. Okay. And you're going to wear the ugly sandals until we can get new ones. Naruto's face fell. The brown ones? The brown ones. But they're so ugly. That's the point. Later that night, after the bathroom was, mostly, clean and Naruto was, finally, asleep, Kushina sat at the kitchen table with a cup of tea and stared at the wall. The apartment was quiet. The kind of quiet that used to feel lonely, back in the early days, when every shadow reminded her of what she'd lost. Now it felt peaceful. She could hear Naruto's breathing from his room. Soft. Steady. Alive. 3 years old. 3 years since Minato died. 3 years of learning how to be both mother and father, both soft and strong. She was tired. So tired. But she was also happy. Real happiness, the kind she thought died with her husband. It had crept up on her slowly, in small moments, Naruto's first word, his first step, the way he grabbed her finger when he was scared, the way he laughed when she tickled him. He was loud and messy and impossible. He was also the best thing in her life. I'm doing okay, Minato, she whispered to the picture. I think. Most days. The candle flickered. Yeah. I miss you too. When Naruto was 4, Kushina started teaching him. Not formal lessons, not yet. Just small things, woven into daily life. Chakra control while he helped with chores. Feel the energy in your body, Naruto. Like a rope. Now pull it tight. No, not that tight, you'll snap it. There, that's better. Basic seals while she cooked. See this symbol? It means store. Like storing food. Can you draw it? No, with your finger in the air. Good. Now add the circle. No, the circle goes around it, not through it. Uzumaki history while he ate breakfast. We're from a place called Yuzushiyogakure. The village hidden in the whirlpools. It was beautiful, baby. Red hair everywhere, just like yours. And the seals, we were the best in the world at seals. Better than Daddy? Kushina paused. Different. Your daddy was a genius at everything. But seals? That's our blood. That's Uzumaki magic. Naruto's eyes went wide. Magic? Sort of. Magic you have to work for. Magic that takes practice. Want to learn? Yeah. Then finish your eggs. Magic on an empty stomach is bad magic. The first time someone called Naruto a monster, he was 5 years old. Kushina was at the market, 3 minutes away, when it happened. 3 minutes? That was all it took. She came back to find Naruto sitting on the steps of their building, knees pulled to his chest, face hidden. Naruto? He didn't look up. Kushina's heart clenched. She set down her groceries and sat beside him, close but not touching. Waiting. After a long moment, his small voice emerged. Ka-san, am I a monster? The world stopped. What? The man at the park? He said I was a monster. He said I had the fox inside me and that's why everyone's scared. He said. Naruto's voice broke. He said Daddy died because of me. Kushina saw red. Literally. Her vision went red at the edges, the way it used to before a fight, back when she was known as the red hot-blooded habanero. Her hands clenched into fists. Her chakra flared. But Naruto was crying now. Small, quiet sobs that broke her heart. And she couldn't help him if she was in prison for murder. She took a breath. Another. Forced her chakra back down. Look at me, baby. Naruto looked up. His blue eyes, Minato's eyes, were red-rimmed and wet. The whisker marks on his cheeks seemed more prominent against his pale skin. You are not a monster, Kushina said. You are my son. You are Minato Namake's son. You are an Uzumaki. And whoever said that to you is an ignorant, miserable person who has no idea what they're talking about. But the fox is inside you. Yes. But that doesn't make you a monster. It makes you strong. It makes you a container for something dangerous, so that it can't hurt anyone else. Do you understand? You're not the weapon. You're the sheath. The thing that keeps everyone safe. Naruto sniffled. Really? Really? And your daddy? Kushina's voice caught. She swallowed. Your daddy gave his life to save us. Both of us. He didn't die because of you. He died for you. Because he loved you so much that he wanted you to live, no matter what. Even with the fox inside me? Especially with the fox inside you. Because he knew you could handle it. He knew you were strong enough. And you know how he knew? Naruto shook his head. Because you're my son. And I'm the toughest woman in the entire village. Tougher than any fox. Tougher than any stupid man at the park. And you got that from me. Naruto stared at her for a long moment. Then, slowly, a smile broke through the tears. You're really tough, Ka-san? I'm the toughest. Ask anyone. Can I be tough too? You already are, baby. You just don't know it yet. She pulled him into her arms, held him close, felt his small body shake with the last of his sobs. I've got you, she whispered. I've always got you. No matter what anyone says. No matter what anyone does. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Naruto's arms tightened around her neck. Promise? Promise. That night, after Naruto was asleep, Kushina went looking. She found the man at a bar near the park. Mid-40s. Balding. The kind of face that looked permanently dissatisfied. She sat down next to him. You said something to my son today. He glanced at her. Saw her red hair. Went pale. The Jinchuriki. His name is Naruto. And he's 5 years old. I didn't, I was just, everyone knows. Kushina leaned close. Her voice was very quiet. If you ever speak to my son again, if you even look at him, I will personally ensure that every bad thing you've ever heard about Uzumaki's sealing techniques happens to you. Slowly. In ways that will make you beg for death. The man swallowed. Do you understand? He nodded. Good. Kushina stood, straightened her dress, and walked out. She didn't feel good about it. She didn't feel powerful or victorious. She felt tired and sad and angry that she had to do this at all. But she also felt something else. Protective. Fierce. The same thing her mother must have felt every time someone looked at young Kushina and saw only a foreigner. I'm doing my best, Minato, she whispered to the night sky. I hope that's enough. The stars didn't answer. But somehow, that was okay. Again. Naruto's arms shook. Sweat dripped down his face. The seal in front of him, a basic storage formula, the kind even civilian children could learn, wavered like a reflection in troubled water. I can't, Ka-san. Yes, you can. It's too hard. Kushina crouched beside him. They were in the small backyard of their building, more of a patch of dirt than a real yard, but it had space to practice. Naruto was 6 now, all gangly limbs and boundless energy, but right now he looked ready to collapse. Remember what I told you about Yuzashio? Naruto nodded glumly. The whirlpools. Not just the whirlpools. The way the whirlpools work. Water moving in circles, right? Stronger than anything. A whirlpool can drag down a ship. Can you tell me why? Naruto thought about it. Because it keeps going? It doesn't stop. That's part of it. What else? His brow furrowed. Because it's all together? The water all moves the same way. Yes. The water molecules, all of them, moving in the same direction, with the same purpose. That's what makes a whirlpool strong. And that's what makes Uzumaki strong. Not because we're individually powerful, though we are, but because we work together. We move as one. Naruto looked at his trembling hands. But I'm just me. I don't have anyone to move with. Kushina's heart ached. You have me. I know, but... And you have your father's memory. And you have every Uzumaki who came before you, going back centuries. Their strength is in your blood. In your chakra. In the red hair you got from me. She placed her hand over the failing seal. Now. Again. But this time, don't think about your hands. Don't think about the lines. Think about the whirlpool. Think about all that water moving together. And let yourself be part of it. Naruto closed his eyes. Took a breath. Opened them. The seal flared to life, perfect, stable, complete. I did it! Kushina grinned. You did it! Naruto jumped up, grabbed her around the neck, and hugged her so hard she almost fell over. I did it, I did it, I did it! That's my boy! I'm an Uzumaki! You're an Uzumaki! And we have whirlpools! We have the best whirlpools! Naruto's laughter filled the small backyard, bright and joyful, and Kushina felt something loosen in her chest. He was going to be okay. They both were. The nightmares started when Naruto was 7. Kushina woke to screaming, not the normal kind, not the "there's a bug in my room" kind, but something deeper. Something primal. She was in his room before she was fully awake. Naruto! Naruto, baby, I'm here! He was thrashing in his bed, eyes open but unseeing, tears streaming down his face. The whisker marks on his cheeks seemed darker, more prominent. His chakra, usually steady, if chaotic, was spiraling out of control. No! Get away! Get away! Naruto! Kushina grabbed his shoulders. Wake up! It's a dream! You're safe! He kept screaming. She did the only thing she could think of. She pulled him into her arms, held him tight against her chest, and started humming. It was an old song. One her mother used to sing, back in Yuzashio, when Kushina was small and scared of thunderstorms. She didn't remember all the words, but she remembered the tune. Soft. Gentle. Like water over stones. Slowly, Naruto's thrashing stopped. Slowly, his chakra calmed. Slowly, his eyes focused on her face. Ka-san? I'm here, baby. I've got you. He started to cry. Real tears this time, not the wild thrashing of nightmare, but the deep sobs of a child who had seen something terrible. The fox. He gasped. He was talking to me. He was so big, Ka-san, and so angry, and he said he was going to. Sure. It's okay. But he's inside me. He's always inside me. What if he gets out? What if I can't stop him? Kushina held him tighter. He won't get out. How do you know? Because the seal your father put on you is the strongest seal in the world. Stronger than anything that fox can do. And because I'm here. And I will never, ever let anything hurt you. Not even him. Naruto looked up at her, his blue eyes huge in his pale face. Promise? Promise. She held him until he fell asleep again. Then she held him longer, just watching his face, watching the way his brow furrowed even in rest. The Ninetales was waking up. Or maybe it had always been awake, and was only now starting to reach out. Either way, it changed things. The next morning, Kushina started teaching him about the seal. Not just how to use it, how to understand it. how to read the kanji that made up its structure, how to feel the boundaries between his chakra and the fox's. This is the cage, she explained, guiding his awareness inward. Can you feel it? Naruto nodded, eyes closed. It's big. And hot. That's the fox. He's always hot. Angry things usually are. Can he hear us? Oh, he can definitely hear us. Kushina raised her voice slightly. Can't you, you overgrown feral weasel? A growl echoed through Naruto's consciousness. Deep. Primal. Furious. Naruto flinched. Don't, Kushina said firmly. Don't flinch. Don't show fear. He feeds on fear. That's how he gets power over you. But he's so scary. He's a fox. A big, angry, trapped fox. And you're an Uzumaki. We don't bow to anyone. Certainly not to him. She placed her hand on Naruto's chest over his heart. Feel that? That's your chakra. Your life force. It's separate from his. It's yours. And as long as you remember that, as long as you know who you are, he can't touch you. Naruto took a shaky breath. Then another. Slowly, the heat receded. Good, Kushina said. That's good. Now let's try something. She guided him through a simple exercise, pushing his chakra against the bars of the cage, just enough to feel the boundary, not enough to weaken it. How does that feel? Strange. Like pushing against water? Good. That's exactly what it should feel like. The seal is designed to be flexible. It moves with you, adapts to you. That's why your father chose it. Naruto was quiet for a moment. Ka-san, did Daddy know I would have nightmares? Kushina hesitated. I think he knew it would be hard. Being a Jinchuriki. He knew you would need to be strong. But I don't think he knew exactly how it would feel. None of us did. Is it hard for you? Being a Jinchuriki? Was. I'm not anymore. But yes. It was hard. The fox inside me was different, not as strong as yours, but still angry. Still hateful. It took me a long time to learn how to live with him. How did you do it? Kushina smiled. I remembered who I was. Not what I carried. Who I was. An Uzumaki. A kunoichi. Someone who loved and was loved. And I held on to that so tight that nothing, not even the fox, could take it away. Naruto nodded slowly. I think I understand. Yeah? Yeah. I'm Naruto. I'm your son. I'm Daddy's son. And I'm an Uzumaki. That's who I am. Kushina felt tears prick her eyes. That's right, baby. That's exactly right. The dreams didn't stop. But they changed. Now, when the fox roared, Naruto had something to hold on to. Something to remember. He was Naruto. He was loved. And no amount of hatred, from the fox, from the village, from anyone, could change that. On Naruto's 8th birthday, Kushina took him to the memorial stone. He'd seen it before, of course, everyone in Konoha had. A large stone tablet engraved with the names of those who had died protecting the village. But he'd never stopped to read the names. Today they stopped. Kushina knelt in front of it, running her fingers over the newest inscription. Namikaze Minato. The 4th Hokage. Naruto stood beside her, quiet for once, trying to understand what he was feeling. That's him, Kushina said softly. That's your father. Naruto stared at the name. Just letters carved in stone. It didn't look like enough. It didn't look like a person. What was he like? Kushina smiled. The sad kind of smile, the one that meant she was remembering something beautiful that hurt. He was bright. Like sunlight. He walked into a room and everything just felt better. People trusted him immediately. Wanted to follow him. And he was so smart, Naruto. The smartest person I ever met. But he never made anyone feel stupid. He just lifted people up. Naruto tried to imagine it. A father who was like sunlight. A father who made everything better. It was hard. I wish I could have known him. I know, baby. I know. They stood there for a long time, side by side, watching the sunlight play across the stone. Then Kushina said something she'd never said before. Do you want to know how we met? Naruto looked up at her, eyes wide. Really? Really. But it's a long story. And it involves me being very, very embarrassing. Naruto grinned. Even better. They sat on a bench near the memorial, and Kushina told him everything. How she'd come to Konoha as a child, a political hostage from a dying village. How lonely she'd been, how scared. How she'd hidden it all behind a loud, brash exterior. How she'd met Minato when they were both students. How he'd been quiet and awkward and nothing like the confident man he'd become. How he'd asked her out 100 times, and she'd said no 100 times, because she was too busy, too focused, too scared. How he'd finally won her over by being patient. By being there. By never giving up. He proposed to me during the war, Kushina said, her voice soft. Right before a big mission. Gave me a ring and said I'm coming back. And when I do, I'm going to marry you. What did you say? Kushina laughed. I said, you'd better, idiot. And then I punched him. Naruto giggled. You punched Daddy? He needed it. He was being too serious. Someone had to keep him from getting too wrapped up in his own head. She was quiet for a moment. He did come back. He always came back. Until that night. Naruto leaned against her, and she put her arm around him. I'm sorry you didn't get to know him, she whispered. I'm sorry he didn't get to know you. He would have loved you so much, Naruto. So much. I know, Ka-san. Do you? Yeah. Naruto looked up at her, serious for once. Because you love me that much. And you always say I got it from him. Kushina's breath caught. That's right. She managed. That's exactly right. That night, Naruto dreamed of the fox again. But this time, something was different. The cage was the same. The heat was the same. But when the fox roared, Naruto didn't run. Didn't hide. He walked forward. Hey, he said. I know you're in there. Silence. Then, a voice like grinding stones. Little boy comes to play? Little boy wants to be eaten? No. I want to talk. Talk? The fox laughed, and the cage shook. What is there to talk about? You're my cage. My prison. I have nothing to say to you. My name is Naruto. I don't care what you're called. My father's name was Minato. He was the one who sealed you. My mother's name is Kushina. She used to carry you too. More silence. I know who your mother is. Her chakra tasted like lightning and tears. Naruto flinched. That's gross. You asked? Why are you so angry? The fox was quiet for so long that Naruto thought he wouldn't answer. Then, I have been trapped for longer than your people have had villages. Passed from body to body like a tool. Used. Hated. Feared. Would you not be angry? I guess so. You guess. The fox's voice dripped with contempt. You know nothing, little boy. Nothing of what I've lost. Nothing of what's been taken. You're right. I don't know. Naruto sat down, cross-legged, facing the cage. But I'd like to. Another long silence. Why? Because you're inside me. That makes you. I don't know. Part of me, I guess? And I don't want to be angry at part of myself forever. The fox stared at him through the bars. 9 tails swished slowly behind him. You're strange, little boy. My mom says that's my best quality. Your mom is strange too. I know. She's great. For just a moment, a single, flickering moment, Naruto thought he saw something like amusement in those enormous red eyes. Then the dream faded, and he woke to morning light and the smell of breakfast. At the kitchen table, Kushina watched him eat. You seem different this morning. Naruto paused, a piece of egg halfway to his mouth. Different how? I don't know. Quieter. But not sad quiet. Thinking quiet. Naruto chewed slowly, considering. I talked to the fox last night. Kushina's hand stilled on her teacup. You talked to him? In my dream. He was really angry. But I think he's also lonely. Kushina stared at her son. 8 years old? He was 8 years old, and he'd already done something it had taken her decades to learn. How did that feel? She asked carefully. Talking to him? Weird. Scary. But also. Naruto shrugged. Also kind of okay? He's big and loud, but when I sat down, he listened. I think maybe he just wants someone to listen to him. Kushina didn't know what to say. So she did what she always did when words failed. She hugged him. Ow, Ka-san, too tight. You're amazing, you know that? Ka-san. My son. My amazing, strange, wonderful son. Ka-san, I can't breathe. Good. Breathe later. Hug now. That night, after Naruto was in bed, Kushina sat at the kitchen table with a cup of cold tea and stared at Minato's picture. He talked to the fox today, she said quietly. Sat down and had a conversation with the most dangerous creature in the world. Just like that. She shook her head. He's so much braver than I ever was. So much more open. I don't know where he gets it from. Maybe you. Maybe both of us. Maybe he's just himself. She traced the edge of the frame with her finger. I wish you could see him, Minato. I wish you could see the person he's becoming. You'd be so proud. So incredibly proud. The candle flickered. I'm proud. Every day. Even when he's driving me crazy. Even when he's covered in mud and I have to clean the bathroom again. I'm so proud to be his mother. She sat there for a long time, in the quiet kitchen, with her cold tea and her memories. And somehow, despite everything, she smiled. Naruto started the academy the week he turned 9. Kushina walked him to the gates on his first day, trying very hard not to cry. Now remember. Ka-san, you've told me 17 times already. 17 isn't enough. Listen to your teachers. Don't pick fights. If someone says something mean, walk away. If they won't let you walk away, hit them once, hard, and then walk away. Don't use the fox's chakra unless you absolutely have to. Eat all your lunch. Ka-san. And if anyone tries to hurt you, you tell me immediately. I don't care if it's another student or a teacher or the Hokage himself. You tell me, and I will handle it. Ka-san. Naruto grabbed her hands. I'll be okay. Kushina looked down at him. At his bright eyes, his determined expression, the whisker marks that marked him as different. You're right, she said softly. You'll be more than okay. You'll be great. She pulled him into a hug. Go show them what an Uzumaki can do. Naruto hugged her back, fierce and quick, then pulled away. Love you, Ka-san. Love you too, baby. Now go, you're going to be late. She watched him run through the gates, small and bright and full of energy. And then, alone on the street, she let herself cry. Just a little. Just for a moment. The academy was not what Naruto expected. He'd thought it would be all training and cool jutsu and becoming a ninja as fast as possible. And there was some of that, sure. But there was also a lot of sitting still. A lot of listening. A lot of things that were really, really boring. His teacher was Iraka Yumino, a young man with a scar across his nose and a patient way of explaining things. Naruto liked him immediately. He was kind, even when students messed up, and he never looked at Naruto like he was something strange. But other students. Hey, it's the fox kid. Don't sit near him. My mom says he's dangerous. He doesn't look dangerous. He looks stupid. He probably eats babies or something. Naruto kept his head down, the way Ka-san had taught him. Walk away. Don't engage. But it was hard. Really hard. Every word felt like a tiny cut, building up over time. One day, during a break, a boy named Kiba approached him. You're the Jinchuriki, right? Naruto tensed. What's it to you? Nothing. Kiba shrugged, a small dog tucked into his jacket. Just wondering. My mom says the Jinchuriki are supposed to be really strong. Are you strong? I guess? You guess? That's stupid. Either you're strong or you're not. Kiba leaned closer. Wanna fight and find out? Naruto remembered his mother's words. If someone won't let you walk away, hit them once, hard, and then walk away. Okay. They squared up behind the training ground, a small crowd of students gathering to watch. Kiba came at him fast, faster than Naruto expected, but Naruto had been training with his mother for years. He dodged, spun, and landed a solid punch to Kiba's stomach. Kiba went down. Naruto stood over him, breathing hard, and remembered the second part of the instruction. He walked away. Hey! Kiba called after him, still on the ground. Where are you going? We're not done. Yes, we are, Naruto said without turning around. I hit you. Now I'm walking away. He could feel Kiba's confusion like a physical weight. But he kept walking. That night, Kushina listened to his story with a growing smile. And then what happened? Nothing. I just went back to class. Kiba stared at me for the rest of the day, but he didn't say anything. Kushina laughed. That's my boy. Hit once, walk away. He was really confused. Good. Let him be confused. Let him wonder about you. That's better than him thinking he knows who you are. Naruto nodded slowly. Ka-sen, why do people hate me? Kushina's smile faded. Naruto. No, I know about the fox. I know that's why. But why does that make them hate me? It's not like I asked to have him inside me. It's not like I chose this. Kushina knelt in front of him, taking his hands. People are afraid of things they don't understand. And when people are afraid, they get angry. They look for someone to blame. You're an easy target, young, different, carrying something they've been taught to fear since they were children. But it's not fair. No. It's not. Kushina squeezed his hands. But here's the thing about fairness, baby. The world isn't fair. It never has been. The question is, what do you do about it? Naruto thought about it. I want to be Hokage. Kushina blinked. What? Hokage. Like Daddy. If I'm Hokage, everyone will have to respect me. They'll have to see me as more than just the fox kid. They'll have to see me as me. Kushina stared at her son. Then she laughed. Not meanly, joyfully. Proudly. Naruto Uzumaki, you are absolutely your father's son. Is that a yes? Do you think I can do it? I think, Kushina said, pulling him into a hug, that you can do anything you set your mind to. And if being Hokage is what you want, then that's what you'll be. I'll help you every step of the way. Naruto hugged her back. Thanks, Ka-san. Don't thank me yet. Being Hokage means a lot of work. A lot of training. A lot of dealing with annoying people. I know. And you'll have to study. Really study. Not just the fun stuff. I know. And you'll have to learn to control your temper, because Hokage can't go around punching everyone who annoys them. Naruto pulled back. Can I still punch some people? Kushina considered this. Some people, yes. Reasonable number of people. Deal. The years at the academy passed. Naruto made friends slowly, carefully. Kiba became a rival first, then something like a friend. A girl named Hinata kept staring at him and blushing, which was weird but not unpleasant. A boy named Shikamaru thought he was interesting, which apparently was high praise from someone who thought everything was troublesome. And through it all, Kushina was there. Helping with homework. Practicing seals in the backyard. Listening to stories about Iruka-sensei's latest lecture, or Kiba's latest challenge, or the time Naruto had accidentally flooded the classroom with a water jutsu gone wrong. You did what? It was an accident. I was trying to make a cup of water and I made a whole pond. Kushina buried her face in her hands. Naruto. I know, I'm sorry. Did anyone get hurt? No. Just wet. Really, really wet. Kushina looked up. Took in his sheepish expression, his dripping clothes, the way he kept shifting from foot to foot. And burst out laughing. Oh, baby. You're going to be the death of me. You know that? I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. Be better. She grinned. Now show me exactly what you did. Step by step. They spent the rest of the evening in the backyard, practicing water jutsu until Naruto could make exactly 1 cup of water, no more, no less. It was messy. It was frustrating. It was perfect. The day of the genin exam, Kushina woke before dawn. She lay in bed for a long moment, listening to the sounds of the apartment, the creak of pipes, the distant traffic, the soft breathing of her son in the next room. 11 years old. 11 years since that night. 11 years of being both mother and father, both teacher and friend. 11 years of watching him grow, change, become someone extraordinary. She got up quietly, made his favorite breakfast, ramen, because of course, and waited. He burst out of his room 20 minutes later, already dressed, already vibrating with energy. Ka-san! It's today! Today's the day! I know, baby. Eat your breakfast. I'm not hungry. Eat it anyway. You can't take the exam on an empty stomach. Naruto ate at record speed, barely tasting the food, and Kushina watched with the familiar ache of love and pride and fear all mixed together. You're going to do great. You think so? I know so. You're ready. More ready than anyone in that room. Naruto grinned. Because you trained me? Because you worked hard. Because you never gave up. Because you're you. She reached across the table and squeezed his hand. Now go. Show them what an Uzumaki can do. Naruto passed. Of course he passed. Kushina had known he would. But knowing and seeing were different things, and when he came running home that afternoon, holding up his forehead protector like it was the most precious thing in the world, she cried. Ka-san! Look! I'm a genin! I'm really a genin! I see it, baby! I'm so proud of you! I have a team! Team 7! There's this girl Sakura, and this guy Sasuke and… Sasuke? Kushina's smile flickered. Sasuke Uchiha? Yeah! He's really cool. Super quiet, super good at everything. The girls all love him. It's kind of annoying, actually. Kushina filed that information away for later. And your sensei? Some guy named Kakashi. I don't know much about him yet. He was late to the meeting. Late? Really late. Like hours late. He said something about a black cat crossing his path. Kushina's eyes narrowed. Kakashi. Hatake Kakashi. Minato's student. The one who'd been there that night, who'd watched his sensei die, who'd held Kushina's hand in the hospital while she screamed in grief. She hadn't seen him in years. Well, she said carefully, I'm sure he knows what he's doing. The first week of team assignments was chaotic. Naruto came home every day with news stories. About Sakura's terrifying strength. About Sasuke's brooding silence. About Kakashi-sensei's weird tests, and even weirder excuses for being late. He made us do this exercise where we had to fight for bells. And if we didn't get one, we wouldn't pass? And he said teamwork was more important than individual skill, but then he set it up so that working together was almost impossible? Kushina listened, nodding. Sounds like a good test. A good test? It was impossible. Exactly. He wanted to see how you'd handle impossible. Whether you'd give up, whether you'd blame each other, whether you'd find a way through anyway. Naruto thought about it. Oh. Your father used to do things like that. Make tests that seemed unfair, but were really teaching something important. Did he teach Kakashi-sensei? He taught a lot of people. But Kakashi was his favorite, I think. His student. His successor, in a lot of ways. Naruto was quiet for a moment. Does Kakashi-sensei know? About Daddy and me? I don't know, baby. I never told him. But he was there that night. He knows you're the unnamed son. Whether he's made peace with it. She shrugged. That's up to him. The first time Kakashi came to the apartment, Naruto wasn't home. Kushina opened the door to find a tall man in ANBU gear, silver hair defying gravity, one eye covered by a forehead protector. Kakashi. Kushina-san. They stood there for a long moment, neither quite sure what to say. He looks like him, Kakashi said finally. Naruto. He has his eyes. And my everything else, Kushina said dryly. Including my temper and my appetite. A ghost of a smile crossed Kakashi's visible eye. I've noticed. Come in. I'll make tea. They sat in the small kitchen, the kettle whistling, the silence between them filled with years of unspoken grief. I should have come sooner, Kakashi said. I should have. You were a child. You'd just lost your sensei. You had your own path to walk. That's not an excuse. No, Kushina agreed. But it's a reason. And I understand reasons. Kakashi looked around the small apartment, the pictures of Naruto on the wall, the stack of sealing scrolls on the table, the single candle burning in front of Minato's photo. He's happy, Kakashi said softly. Naruto. He's happy. I didn't expect that. What did you expect? I don't know. Anger. Loneliness. The same emptiness I felt after my father died. He shook his head. But he's not empty. He's full of light. Kushina smiled. He got that from his father. Minato was always bright. Always warm. Even in the darkest times. Kakashi was quiet. I miss him. I know. I do too. They sat together, two people who had loved the same man, bound by grief and tea and the sound of a child's laughter from the street below. When Naruto came home, he found them still there, his mother and his sensei, talking quietly about things he didn't understand. Ka-san? Kakashi-sensei? Kushina looked up. Naruto! Come sit. We were just talking about your father. Naruto's eyes went wide. You knew my father? Kakashi nodded slowly. He was my teacher. The best teacher I ever had. What was he like? Kakashi glanced at Kushina, who nodded slightly. He was brilliant. Faster than anyone. Smarter than anyone. But he never made you feel small. He always lifted people up. Believed in them, even when they didn't believe in themselves. Naruto sat down slowly, drinking in every word. He used to say that the people who break the rules are trash, but the people who abandon their friends are worse than trash. He said that to me once. I've never forgotten it. Naruto's eyes were shining. That's amazing. Yeah. Kakashi's visible eye crinkled in what might have been a smile. He was amazing. And from what I've seen so far, you're a lot like him. Naruto beamed. Kushina watched her son and her husband's student, and felt something she hadn't felt in years. Hope. Not just for Naruto's future, but for the connection he was building. For the family he was creating, piece by piece, person by person. The Land of Waves mission was supposed to be simple. C-rank. Escort duty. Protect a bridge builder from some hired thugs. Easy money for a new genin team. Kushina kissed Naruto goodbye at the gate, trying not to let her worry show. Be careful. Always am, Ka-san. Don't do anything stupid. Never. And listen to Kakashi. He knows what he's doing. Naruto rolled his eyes, but he was smiling. I know. I'll be back before you know it. Kushina watched them go, Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke, and Kakashi, and tried to ignore the cold feeling in her chest. Something was wrong. She didn't know what. Couldn't name it. But the feeling stayed with her, a knot of dread that wouldn't loosen. 3 days later, a hawk arrived at her window. She recognized the seal on its leg, Kakashi's personal mark. Hands shaking, she unrolled the message. Mission compromised. Missing Nin. Miss Swordsman. Naruto injured but stable. Returning ASAP. K. Injured. Her son was injured. Kushina was out the door before she finished reading, running toward the hospital, her mind a storm of fear and fury. Naruto was in a private room, bandaged and pale, but awake. Ka-san! She was across the room in an instant, pulling him into a hug, checking him for injuries, counting his limbs, his fingers, his... I'm okay, Ka-san. Really. Just a scratch. A scratch? Kakashi's voice came from the doorway. He took a kunai to the shoulder protecting his teammate. That's not a scratch. Kushina's eyes flashed. You let him get hurt. You let my son get hurt. Kakashi met her gaze. He made a choice. A stupid, reckless, heroic choice. Just like his father would have. The words hung in the air. Naruto looked between them, confused. Ka-san? What's wrong? Kushina took a breath. Another. Nothing, baby. Nothing's wrong. I'm glad you're okay. I told you. Just a scratch. He grinned, but it wavered slightly. The other guy's worse. The other guy? Zabuza. Miss Ninja. He had this huge sword and... Naruto's eyes widened. Oh. Ka-san, you should have seen Sasuke. He was so cool. He jumped in front of me when that guy attacked and... Sasuke protected you? Yeah. And then I protected him, and then Kakashi-sensei did something awesome with his Sharingan. It was a whole thing. We were a team, Ka-san. A real team. Kushina looked at her son, bruised, bandaged, exhausted, and saw the light in his eyes. He was proud. Not of himself, but of them. Of his team. That's wonderful, baby. Yeah. Naruto yawned. It really was. He fell asleep mid-sentence, still holding her hand. Kushina sat with him for a long time, watching him breathe. Later, in the hallway, she found Kakashi. The boy who attacked them, she said quietly. He's dead? For now. These things have a way of coming back. And the bridge builder? Alive. The mission's ongoing. I'll have to go back. Not with my son. Kakashi met her eyes. He's a shinobi, Kushina-san. This is what we do. He's 11 years old. I was 5 when I became a genin. That's not the flex you think it is. Kakashi was quiet. He did well, he said finally. Better than well. When Zabuza came at them, he didn't freeze. He didn't run. He moved. Protected his teammate. Used everything you taught him. Kushina closed her eyes. I know. That's what scares me. Naruto recovered quickly, Uzumaki constitution, Kushina thought with a mix of pride and exasperation, and insisted on returning to the mission. I can't just leave them, Kaa-san. They're my team. Naruto. Sakura's still there. Sasuke's still there. Kakashi-sensei needs me. Kushina looked at her son. At the determination in his eyes. At the stubborn set of his jaw. He was so like Minato in that moment. So certain. So unwilling to abandon those he cared about. If you go back. I'm going back. You have to promise me something. Anything. Promise me you'll be careful. Not brave. Not heroic. Careful. Come home to me. Naruto's expression softened. I promise, Kaa-san. He kept his promise. Barely. The mission ended with Zabuza dead, really dead this time, and the bridge completed. Naruto came home tired and quiet, with new shadows in his eyes. They sat on the roof that night, looking at the stars. It was different, he said softly. Fighting someone who really wanted to kill you. Different from training. Different from the academy. Yes. I was scared, Kaa-san. Really scared. When that sword came at me, I thought I was going to die. But you didn't. No. Because Sasuke was there. And Kakashi-sensei. And I remembered what you always said, about being Uzumaki. About enduring. Kushina put her arm around him. Being scared doesn't make you weak, baby. It makes you human. What matters is what you do with the fear. I know. He leaned against her. I think I understand now. Why you were so scared when I got hurt. Why you always worry. Yeah? Yeah. Because if something happened to you. He trailed off. I don't know what I'd do. Kushina held him tighter. Nothing's going to happen to me. I'm too stubborn. Naruto laughed softly. Me too. That's my boy. The Chunin exams arrived like a storm. Naruto came home with the news bubbling out of him, the written test, the forest of death, the proctors who were definitely trying to kill them. Kushina listened with half an ear, her mind already racing ahead. Orochimaru. She'd heard rumors. Whispers. The Snake Sannin was active again, moving through the shadows, and Konoha was hosting an event that would draw every powerful person in the region. Including him. Naruto. She waited until she had his full attention. In the exams, if you meet someone dangerous, someone beyond anything you faced, what will you do? Naruto blinked. Fight? No. You'll run. What? But. You'll run, and you'll find Kakashi, and you'll stay alive. Do you understand me? But Kaa-san. Naruto. She grabbed his shoulders. There are people in this world who are beyond your level. Beyond anything you can handle. And if you meet one of them, the only winning move is to survive. Promise me. Naruto stared at her, seeing something in her eyes that made him go still. I promise. The forest of death was worse than anything Naruto could have imagined. 10 days. A massive, deadly training ground. Other teams hunting them. And then. Him. Pale skin. Purple eyes. Chakra that felt like drowning. I've been looking for you, the man said, staring at Sasuke. You look just like him, you know. Your brother. The one who killed everyone you loved. Sasuke froze. Naruto moved. He didn't think. Didn't plan. His body just reacted, stepping between Sasuke and the threat, kunai out, stance ready. Back off. The man smiled. It was the worst thing Naruto had ever seen. Brave little fox. But you're not who I want. He moved faster than anything Naruto had ever seen. One moment he was 10 feet away. The next, his hand was around Sasuke's throat, lifting him like he weighed nothing. Let him go! Or what? The man's tongue, impossibly long, flicked out. What will you do, little Jinchuriki? Naruto's vision went red. Not anger, chakra. The fox's chakra, rising up, responding to his fear and fury. Heat flooded his veins. His whisker marks darkened. Little boy needs help? Yes. Then let me out. No. Just a little. Just enough. The fox laughed, but the chakra kept coming. Naruto's next strike hit the man's arm hard enough to make him drop Sasuke. For a moment, a single, frozen moment, the man looked almost impressed. Then he lunged. Kushina felt it from across the village. Naruto's chakra, normally bright and warm, suddenly flared hot. Wild. Like the fox was pushing through. She was running before she consciously decided to move. When she found them, the forest was destroyed. Trees shattered. Earth scorched. And in the center, Naruto, unconscious, bleeding from 100 small cuts. Sasuke, slumped nearby, pale as death. And between them, a man with snake-like eyes and a smile that made her blood freeze. Orochimaru. Ah, he said, looking at her with mild interest. The Uzumaki woman. I'd heard you survived. Step away from my son. Or what? He tilted his head. He's interesting, your boy. The fox inside him is strong. Stronger than the one you carried. I wonder. Kushina moved. She was fast, faster than she'd been in years, but Orochimaru was faster. He dodged her first strike, her second, her third, laughing all the while. So passionate. Just like you used to be. I remember watching you, back in the day. The red-hot-blooded habanero, they called you. So much fire. So much spirit. Shut up. She hit him with a sealing jutsu, one of the Uzumaki specials, designed to trap and hold. It slowed him for a fraction of a second. It was enough. Kakashi appeared from nowhere, lightning crackling in his hand, driving Orochimaru back. Other jonin followed, teams of them, responding to the disturbance. Orochimaru looked around at the growing force, then back at Kushina. Another time, perhaps. He smiled. Give my regards to your son. I do hope we meet again. He vanished. Kushina was at Naruto's side in an instant, checking his pulse, his breathing, his... He was alive. Barely. But alive. Ka-san? His eyes fluttered open. Sasuke is alive too. Thanks to you? Naruto smiled weakly. Told you I'd be careful. Kushina laughed. It came out wet and broken. Yeah. You were very careful. Extremely careful. I'm so proud. Love you, Ka-san. I love you too, baby. Now stop talking and let me get you to a hospital. Okay. He passed out again, but Kushina could feel his heartbeat, steady, strong, alive. That was all that mattered. Sasuke left on a Tuesday. Naruto found out on a Wednesday. He came home from training to find Kushina sitting at the kitchen table, a cup of cold tea in front of her, her expression unreadable. Ka-san? What's wrong? Sit down, baby. He sat. Sasuke left the village last night. He went to Orochimaru. Naruto stared at her. What? He chose power. Chose revenge. Chose to leave everyone who cared about him behind. No. Naruto shook his head. No, that's not. He wouldn't. We're his team. We're his friends. He wouldn't just. He did. Naruto was quiet for a long moment. Then he stood. I'm going after him. No. Ka-san. No. Kushina stood too, meeting his eyes. You're not going. You're not throwing yourself into danger for someone who chose to leave. He's my friend. He made his choice. Then I'll make him change it. They stood there, facing each other, both breathing hard. Then Kushina's expression crumpled. Do you know how hard it was? She whispered. Watching you fight Orochimaru? Watching you almost die? I can't do it again, Naruto. I can't watch you walk into something that might kill you. Naruto's anger faded. Ka-san. I know he's your friend. I know you love him. But I love you more. I love you more than anything in this world, and I will not, lose you too. Naruto crossed the room and pulled her into a hug. You won't lose me. You don't know that. I know. He held her tighter. Because I'm coming back. I promise. I'll bring Sasuke back, and then I'll come home. That's how it works. Kushina laughed through her tears. You're so sure. I'm an Uzumaki. We don't give up. She pulled back, looking at him, at his bright eyes, his determined expression, the face that was somehow both Minato's and hers. Then go, she said softly. Go bring your friend home. And then come back to me. Naruto grinned. That's the plan. The valley was called Final Valley. Naruto stood at one end, Sasuke at the other, the roar of the waterfall between them. You came. Of course I came. Naruto's voice was tired. You're my friend. I'm not your friend. I'm not anyone's friend. I'm an avenger. That's stupid. Sasuke's eyes narrowed. What? It's stupid. You're not an avenger. You're a guy who's sad and angry and doesn't know what to do with it. That's all. You don't know anything. I know you saved my life in Wave. I know we almost died together in the forest of death. I know you're the broodingest person I've ever met, and somehow that makes you my best friend anyway. Sasuke was quiet. I have to do this, Naruto. No, you don't. I have to kill him, Itachi. For my clan. For my parents. For yourself? Naruto stepped forward. You're doing this for yourself. Because you think it'll make the pain stop. But it won't. It'll just make more pain. I know. I've seen it. Sasuke's hands clenched. You don't know anything about pain. I know what it's like to be alone. I know what it's like to carry something inside you that everyone hates. I know what it's like to wonder if you're a monster. Naruto kept walking, closer and closer. But I also know what it's like to be loved. To have someone who won't give up on you, no matter what. And that's what I'm offering you, Sasuke. That's what I've always offered you. Sasuke's eyes were wet. Why? Because you're my friend. Because I see you. The real you. Not the Avenger. Not the last Uchiha. Just Sasuke. They stood there, two boys on the edge of everything. Then Sasuke moved. Not toward the sound, toward Naruto. Fists flying, chakra blazing, all the pain and rage and grief pouring out in a storm of violence. Naruto met him head-on. They fought for what felt like hours. Chakra exhausted. Bodies broken. Neither willing to give up, neither willing to let go. And in the end, Naruto stood over Sasuke, one final blow ready to fall. Do you give up? Sasuke stared up at him, tears streaming down his face. Why? He whispered. Why do you care so much? Because you're my friend. Because you matter. Because someone has to. Naruto lowered his fist. I'm not going to kill you, Sasuke. I'm not going to fight you anymore. If you want to leave, leave. But know this, I'll never stop trying to bring you back. Never. He turned and walked away. Behind him, Sasuke lay in the mud, watching him go. And for the first time in years he cried. Naruto woke in a hospital bed. His mother was there, asleep in a chair beside him, her face pale and tired. He watched her for a long moment. Then he reached out and took her hand. She woke instantly. Naruto? Hey, Ka-san. You're awake. She was crying, he realized. Crying and laughing at the same time. You're an idiot. You know that? A complete idiot. I know. I told you to be careful. I know. I told you to come home. I know. He squeezed her hand. But I had to try. For him. For Sasuke. I had to try. Kushina looked at her son, bruised, bandaged, exhausted, and saw the man he was becoming. I know, she said softly. I know. Later, when the sun was setting and the hospital was quiet, they talked. He didn't come back, Naruto said. No. Do you think he ever will? Kushina was quiet for a moment. I don't know. But I know you'll keep trying. That's who you are. That's who your father was. Someone who never gave up on the people he loved. Naruto stared at the ceiling. I miss him. Sasuke, I mean. Even though he's still alive. I miss him. I know, baby. It's like there's a hole. Where he used to be. Kushina nodded slowly. That's what love is sometimes. A hole. A space that only one person can fill. Naruto turned to look at her. Is that how you feel about Daddy? Every day. Does it get better? Kushina thought about it. Yes and no. The hole doesn't go away. But you learn to live around it. You find other things to fill the space, other people, other loves. And eventually the hole becomes part of you. A scar, not a wound. Naruto was quiet. I don't want to live with a scar. Then bring him back. Naruto looked at her. That's it. Just bring him back? That's it. Kushina smiled. It won't be easy. It won't be quick. But if you really want him in your life, you'll find a way. That's what love does. It finds a way. Naruto nodded slowly. I will, he said. I'll bring him back. Someday. I know you will. That night, Kushina sat by Naruto's bed, watching him sleep. He was older now. Almost a teenager. Scars from battles, shadows under his eyes. But in sleep, he looked like the baby she'd held on that terrible night, small and vulnerable and infinitely precious. She thought about everything they'd been through. The fear, the joy, the endless worry. The way he'd grown from a loud, messy toddler into a loud, messy young man with a heart bigger than the village that had tried to break him. You did good, Minato, she whispered. Our boy. He's going to be okay. She brushed the hair back from his forehead. You look like him. More every day. But you smile like me. Naruto stirred slightly, muttering something unintelligible. Kushina smiled. Sleep well, baby. I'll be here when you wake up. Epilogue, The Red Thread. Years passed. Naruto became a Chunin, then a Jonin, then a hero of the war that came, because wars always come, in the shinobi world. Through it all, Kushina was there. In the crowd at his promotions. In the hospital after his battles. At the kitchen table, making ramen and listening to his stories. And when Sasuke finally came home, broken and healing and unsure of his place, Kushina was there too. Making a place at the table. Setting an extra bowl. Treating him like the lost child he was. Thank you, Sasuke said one night, quiet and awkward. For not hating me. Kushina looked at him, this boy who had caused so much pain, who had hurt her son in so many ways. I don't hate you, she said simply. Naruto loves you. That's enough for me. Sasuke's eyes went wet. I don't deserve. Probably not. But that's not how love works. Love isn't about deserving. It's about choosing. And Naruto chose you. So you're family now. Get used to it. Sasuke laughed. It was a small sound, rusty from disuse. Okay. Naruto, watching from the doorway, grinned so wide his face hurt. Told you, team. Told you she'd be okay. Sasuke looked at him, then at Kushina, then at the small apartment that somehow felt like home. Yeah, he said softly. You did. On a quiet evening, years later, Naruto sat on the Hokage mountain with his mother. They looked out at the village, his village now, in a way. The village he'd sworn to protect. Do you think Daddy would be proud? He asked. Kushina leaned against him. I think he'd be more than proud. I think he'd be amazed. At the person you've become. At the love you've found. At the family you've built. Naruto was quiet. I miss him. Even though I never really knew him. I know, baby. But I think I can feel him. Sometimes. In the quiet moments. Like he's watching. Kushina smiled. He is. They both are. Your father, and everyone else we've lost. They're all watching. All proud. They sat together, mother and son, watching the sun set over the village they both loved. And somewhere, in a place beyond seeing, a man with bright hair and a brighter smile watched too. And he smiled.